So you've just bought a Model 3 Performance. What are the first things that you're going to do to it? Bigger brakes? Stickier tyres? Upgraded suspension? How about fit a tow bar? Well, that's just what I've done. It is one Model 3 Performance and one trailer, and joining the two together, a tow bar. Now that fits all underneath. This is a genuine Tesla tow bar. I've still got to connect the electrics and everything up at the minute, but I'll pull it over onto the pavement first, and then we'll do that. So let's get it over there and we'll take a closer look at it. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Why have I put a tow bar on my Model 3 Performance? You might even be in a country where they don't allow a tow bar on a Model 3 Performance. So how have I done it? Well, Tesla in the United Kingdom allow you to fit a tow bar as an option in their store, and they fit it at a service centre. So I went for that. It's quite pricey, £1,300. But to answer the question why I did it, well, you see, the Model 3 Performance is a great car. If you want to know how great a car, you can check out my 12-month review of this exact car, where I talk about all of its strengths, and there are a lot of them. It's a great daily car. It's comfortable, it's refined, it's efficient. It's got great features on it, you know, the heating and the cooling from the app, Sentry mode, and then from the performance point of view, it's extremely quick. You know, it's a proper performance car. But the one thing it's lacking is, although the boot space is great, it's not brilliant for big, bulky items. I can fit a load of suitcases and shopping and things like that in the back. I can even fit my bike in the back. But if I needed to, I don't know, move a washing machine, I can't get that in the back of this car. Oh, so what about a Model Y? Why didn't you buy a Model Y? Well, I could have bought a Model Y. The Juniper wasn't released though when I bought this car back in August of 2024. And I have to wait even longer for the Model Y Performance, which they haven't even started delivering yet in Britain. But I didn't want a car that wasn't this one. Go test drive a Model Y and a Model 3 back to back, and you'll know exactly what I mean. The Model 3 is smoother, more composed over bumps, dynamically far superior to the Y. It's quicker than the Y. For me, it's a much nicer place to be. It's smaller, so it's more convenient for parking and things like that. And from the performance car point of view, it's lighter, and lighter cars are just better than heavier cars. So I didn't want to buy a Y and have something that I didn't enjoy 99% of the time, just so I had a car that I needed for 1% of the time. And so getting the tow bar on this car allowed me to have something that covered all of my needs. So, what are the specs for the Model 3 Performance for towing? Well, the tongue weight is the same as the non-performance Model 3s, and tongue weight is the amount of weight you can put downwards onto a tow bar, and it's just over 50 kilos, so it's the same across all of the Model 3s. One big difference is the performance model is only capable of towing 500 kilos, which is half the amount that the non-performance Model 3s can tow, which is 1,000 kilos. Now, as the tongue weight was the same, I did wonder why this was the case, and I asked Tesla, and they told me it's because the performance is set up for more track use, more performance-based driving. The motors are tailored to doing that, which I thought was a load of rubbish, really, because the Model Y Performance is now released that has the same motors as this, has the same 1,600 kilo capacity as all the other Model Ys. So I have a theory that in order to allow a car to carry a bike rack on the tow bar, it's automatically allowed to then tow 500 kilos. And I reckon Tesla thought, well, how many people are going to want to tow, first of all, on their Model 3 Performance? Not many. And then those that want a tow bar, how many of them are going to want to actually tow a trailer rather than just put a bike rack on the back? And I'm sure that was even fewer. So I don't blame them for doing that. It would be nice if this was fully rated for 1,000 kilos, but I don't think there'd be technically anything wrong as far as damaging the car goes, towing 1,000 kilos. But as of yet, I also haven't needed to. So there are the specs on the towing capacity of this car, and towing with this car is brilliant. Okay, it's only 500 kilos, that's nothing. You could put that on the back of a Golf and not know it was there. But the way this thing, the way electric motors enable you to tow just anything is astonishing. It's so easy. No gears, no restrictive power band. It's just exactly like driving without a trailer. It's so nice. So nice to tow with this. You don't know it's there. So when you have the trailer fitted, you unlock a piece of software on the car called Tow Mode, which not many Model 3 Performances will have. But when it's in tow mode, it disables auto steer. You can't use auto steer if you have a trailer on the back. Not entirely sure why, but you can't. And it then, cuts off all of the parking warnings to the back of the car, so it isn't constantly telling you that you're going to crash into something. So that's indicated by a little trailer symbol next to where you change gear, so just under the speedo, and it's blue when everything's good and happy, and it's red if you've got lights and things not working. I was a bit disappointed with the software in a way because it doesn't really do anything impressive, and the reason I bring it up is I thought it would limit certain things, but it doesn't. I can still tow a trailer in insane mode, and when it's in insane mode, it feels like I can accelerate just as hard as without the trailer. So this is probably the fastest accelerating machine that can tow a trailer. It's got to be. I thought it would limit you to like chill or something like that, which, if I'm honest, is a much nicer way of towing the trailer in chill mode. also thought it would be nice if it automatically adjusted the maximum speed. So when you're towing a trailer in the UK, don't know what it's like elsewhere, but there are different speed limits whilst you're towing a trailer. So I thought that it might automatically adjust those on the screen, but it doesn't. So that's also a bit of a shame. So I've had the tow bar for 2 months now, and I'm also doing up my house. So I've had hardcore and rubble and building materials and old fence panels, all sorts of stuff in the trailer, all sorts of stuff I wouldn't want to put in the boot of a Model Y. Okay, so unfortunately the camera decided that it didn't want to record anymore and it switched off. Clearly had enough of what I had to say. The stuff that I put in this I wouldn't want to put in a Model Y because I'd wreck the interior. For me, the tow bar option on a Model 3 Performance or any Model 3 I think is a better direction to go down than buying a Model Y. If you need a family car, then yes, the Model Y is better, but the Model 3 is just a better car. It's more efficient, dynamically it's better, the ride is better, the size is better, and the only plus the Model Y has is due to its slightly larger size and its hatchback style boot, you can fit bigger and bulkier items in. But if you have a trailer on the back, you can fit even bigger, bulkier items without having to worry about damaging the inside of your car. It's also a cheaper proposition to buy a similarly spec'd Model 3 and adding a tow bar rather than getting a Model Y without a tow bar. So let me know what you think, leave a comment. Would you consider a tow bar on your Model 3 rather than buying a Model Y? Efficiency is an important thing to look at. And yes, it's only 500 kilos maximum that I was towing, and I definitely was at or over 500 kilos at one stage with some of the stuff I had in the trailer. I saw no noticeable drop in efficiency. Now maybe that's because it was only over about a 10-mile distance. It wasn't a long journey. It was on roads at a sort of 50 mile an hour average, so pretty economical speed. And after loading the trailer up and then going straight away, I was pretty hot, so the climate control wasn't working particularly hard, which may have changed it. But to give you an idea, running empty without a trailer and in insane mode, because that's how I keep my Model 3 Performance day to day, I average on the same 10-mile journey about 280 watt hours per mile. With the trailer on, I was in the high 290s, sometimes hitting only just into the 300s. So still incredibly efficient. I was driving it in standard with the trailer on, and in chill. I did several journeys where I switched back and forward. Made no difference. So the efficiency is still great. Really like the efficiency of it. Towing is an absolute dream with an electric car. Again, I know it's only 500 kilos, that's nothing. I used to own 4x4s, Land Rovers, Range Rovers with a 3,500 kilo towing capacity, of which I did many times. But the the torque of an electric motor and the smoothness of it, you don't even know the trailer's there. It's brilliant. And the technology on this, you know, you can have the cameras running all the time. Tesla software means you can have the cameras running constantly. So you can always check what the trailer is doing, and that's brilliant. Most cars, they switch the cameras off after, you know, you go over a certain speed, usually something like 20 miles an hour, or if the cameras have just been left on in a forward gear, even if you're going slowly for an extended period of time, they switch off. So it's just such a great tow car. I'd really love to try a Model X or a Cybertruck and just see what towing big, heavy stuff is like. Not from an efficiency point of view, but just from a capability point of view. But I don't think I'll ever be able to do that because there's no chance of the Cybertruck coming to Europe. That's a bit of a shame. Anyway, I can now end the video rather than be rudely and abruptly cut off. So thank you very much for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.